Thanks to everyone for being here today to celebrate Mom and coming together as a big old family. It's been difficult to bring this together in my head and share my thoughts about Phyllis. She was a complex woman for sure. She loved some things with all her heart. Michael and I, Earl, Robert, her brothers and sisters, her grandchildren, her cats and dogs. She lived through some of the best times and endured some of the worst. She truly persevered to the end. When I lost my mom, I lost part of myself. I was so relieved that her suffering was over. The grief came later and is with me today. She was always there, available, supportive, understanding. She loved our friends as well and welcomed them into our home. We had a bit of a safe house in Rocky Mount. Friends that didn't have supportive parents found support from her. It got her in trouble more than once. My compassion comes from her. I think she was challenged in her life with more intelligence than the average person. She had to be placed in a better school away from her home. She kind of was a troubled person and distressed early on. I believe she had a great opportunity to grow in her personal life. Then she met Earl. She loved him and had a way out. Michael and I thrived under her care, never needing anything that wasn't provided. Privileged. Lucky to have her. Michael's recollection might be different from mine, but I have nothing but good memories of our life until we were a little bit older. She did the best she could with two hippie teenagers and all our friends. And as we matured, she took some risks for our future benefit. But we all grew and came out okay in the end. At times she was tormented with sadness and depression. I began to notice this when we all moved to Rochester. But with her guidance and luck, we began to find our way to happy times and some level of prosperity. We were challenged all the time with new surroundings and new people, but it provided the ability to cope. She was always there for me, unconditional and empathetic, generous, loving, caring. She met Robert in Rochester, and he was a good man, and finally she had a companion to love. Truly tragic. He died of cancer 4 years later. Hard to imagine her loss. I think through this period she gained more compassion and perseverance. She began to adopt animals and spread her love and caring in different ways. She never lived near her grandchildren, and it must have been difficult, but by then she was used to sacrifices. She always had luck in getting jobs that suited her. She landed a career job in Louisville and moved back to her home in Milton. Being the controller for Legal Aid Society, she managed millions and became very respected by her peers there. I've read the sentiments from her retirement party and had no idea how valued she was by her coworkers. Her big boss wrote, quote, "You have been one of our jewels, and we will miss you," end quote. She had found success in her work there. Phyllis was an escape artist through literature. She read all the time, so many books. Michael and I had to haul them so many times. We moved 5 times in 4 years. She was very well read. Her grandkids were loved by her, and she traveled the world to see them. Michael's life in Munich gave Mom and I both an understanding of the world and how small it is. She could adapt to foreign places without fear, and it gave me an idea of how to do that too. I'm forever grateful for that. She was easy to talk to and had many friends from different cultures and religions. She would talk to anyone, sometimes to a fault. She'd carry on a conversation with me on a train or a plane and speak at a volume so other people could hear what she was saying. Often the folks would engage her in whatever she was talking about. She loved that, chatting with strangers, reaching out. It was embarrassing for me, but now I talk to strangers without a thought. After retirement from legal aid, she was wooed by Earl again and moved back to Rocky Mount. Didn't take long for them to remarry after 30 years of being divorced. Dad's life was in shambles, and she fixed it. They lived comfortably for many years, still bickering constantly. I think they thrived on it. Dad began to slowly lose his surroundings and passed in a memory care facility in 2019. The remainder of her life, she cared for her animals and constantly worried about everyone: sons, sisters, brothers, in-laws, divorced in-laws, grandkids, nieces, nephews, everyone in her circle. Phyllis also began to lose her memory, and I would have to assure her that everyone is alive and well. When Cindy passed, it hurt her really hard. I told her Pete was okay 100 times, always concerned for others. She suffered too much in the end and reaffirmed her faith in the last days. Her sister read the Lord's Prayer out of David's Bible while Mom took her last breaths. I'm forever grateful to Judy for that. I couldn't have done it. It was her time to go, and I believe she is peaceful now. What follows is a melody I made up years ago, but never had a purpose for it till now.